hours. That's how long this game has to impress me enough to keep playing. Otherwise, it gets refunded through Steam's 2-hour refund policy. So let's see if it has what it takes to pass the test. This is the Steam Refund Review. So to start, on Steam, Celeste is described as a super tight platformer in which the player helps Madeline, the protagonist, survive her inner demons on her journey to the top of Celeste Mountain. In the description, the developers say the player will need to brave hundreds of handcrafted challenges, uncover devious secrets, and piece together the mystery of the mountain. I am well aware that Celeste is a highly rated, very popular game, but since my backlog is about 10 miles long, yes, believe it or not, I have never played it until doing so for this video. Starting off, the game throws you straight into the thick of it, so let's see how it plays out. No opening cinematic, no blatant tutorials, aside from a little bird telling you some of the controls along the way. The game wastes no time getting you into the platforming. Before long, I was dashing, climbing, and jumping my way through different scenes and collecting strawberries along the way. Right off the bat, I was able to see just how tight and polished it felt to control Madeline as she ascended up the mountain. It was also very quickly apparent that the game was eager to introduce some really cool new mechanics around every corner. I honestly enjoyed almost every single one of the mechanics, besides the wind on the 4th level towards the end of my 2 hours of playtime. I've said it before, and I'll say it again, something about pixelated graphics just makes me feel happy. Immediately when the game started, I was happy to know that the game was stylized with these awesome 16 or 32-bit graphics or whatever they are. I loved that even though it was pixelated, the characters were somehow still very detailed and able to show some expression. The game also displays the characters differently during dialogue in a more hand-drawn looking style that I was also a huge fan of. I honestly was not at all expecting a story from this game. I thought it was going to be 100% just about jumping around from platform to platform as a challenge instead of a way to progress the narrative. That being said, the story was really quite deep and personal for me. It dealt a lot with mental health themes such as self-doubt, depression, anxiety, and so on. And as someone that deals with these issues on the daily, I found it really cool to see that the devs essentially discuss these themes through the medium of video games, as I've never really seen that done before. I genuinely enjoyed all the characters I met on my climb up the mountain. Every single one had a ton of personality, and there were even some moments of humor sprinkled in there which I could really appreciate. I gotta say my favorite character was this ghost dude named Ochiro that was extremely self-conscious and ended up becoming enraged at the end of the 3rd level due to his insecurities, which basically turned the platforming gameplay into like a boss fight. It was sweet. And at the end of that boss fight, I felt genuinely sad about Ochiro and his outcome. I'd recommend you go see what happened there if you haven't had the pleasure of experiencing this game yourself. Last but not least, the sound design and music was freaking awesome, especially the music. The music was so catchy that it was stuck in my head at work for the majority of the day after I played this game. And the sound effects fit the rest of the game really well. I can still hear Madeline dashing through the dream blocks to escape from evil Madeline, or Badeline as I later found out she was called. I mean, I really think the devs just did an amazing job all the way around. As a sidebar, I streamed my gameplay for this video, and I had this awesome individual hop into the stream that was super encouraging and gave me lots of cool tips and tricks. I was really easily able to see just how awesome the community for this game was very early on, even though I knew barely nothing about the game going into it. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't have nearly only positive opinions for Celeste thus far. I really enjoyed the gameplay despite the fact that platformers aren't necessarily my favorite genre in the video gaming world. I will certainly not be refunding Celeste, and it's definitely earned its place among the games that I will keep in my Steam library and continue to enjoy. Celeste has very easily earned an 8.5 out of 10 for me, just based on the first 2 hours of gameplay. Honestly, I'd be surprised if that number doesn't go up for me as I continue to play the game, and the game continues to throw out cool new mechanics with each level. When looking at the value of the game, it has a base price of $20 and I got it on sale for $5, and according to HowLongToBeat.com, it takes the average player about 8.5 hours to beat the game. While that may seem relatively short, I think it's well worth the price, especially considering the fact that there are a lot of collectibles and it takes about 38 hours to beat if you're a completionist. After looking further into it, I can see that there's a very large speedrunning and challenge running community for the game as well, which further adds to its value due to replayability. Overall, I really enjoyed my 2 hours with this game, and I'm really glad that I was able to experience it by doing this review. Thanks so much for watching. If you want to see me do these reviews live, follow me on Twitch. I hope to either see you there or in the next video. See ya!